have lent credence to Pakistan. That is the reason as to why we say that you are voicing what Pakistan is saying today. How did you know? How did you know that Pakistan is to be given a clean chit?
But that's the question that came in from Rahul Narvekar, that if the opposition is going to question you, you're going to automatically label them spokespersons of Pakistan. Prem Shukla, let's bring you in on that. You know, is it fair for the opposition to raise questions on this? But is it fair for then the BJP, to come around and say that if you're going to question the government, you're essentially speaking for Pakistan or giving oxygen to Pakistan?
No.
What's your
You have to remember one thing, and we are not saying they're not supposed to question. They are supposed to question in a way which does not become a matter of public thing. They are supposed to question in a way which is called mature.
And we questioned it maturely.
No, see,
what maturely did you question? You were calling this as a manufactured event openly on the television screen, which the whole world was listening to. And that was the maturity of Congress. Naturally, Congress has no maturity, we know that. That's the level of maturity that Congress has.
We asked you to think about it. We asked you only when it came from the different sources. We didn't question.
Mr. Ajay Kumar, the history in fact has umpteen number of incidences where you have been supplying oxygen to Pakistan. After 26/11, Congress spoke out of turn. Mr. Digvijay Singh said that 26/11 was because of RSS. After Batla House encounter, Congress spoke out of turn. Well, before the investigation was completed, Sonia Gandhi was whipping.
But now, Ajay Kumar, even your former ally, the NCP, is suggesting that maybe your criticism and your questioning was a little too premature. Rahul Narvekar, quick point from you before we go to Prem Shukla. Yes, Rahul Narvekar.
Well, I'm not in the least suggesting that the party in opposition is not entitled to ask these questions. They're certainly entitled to ask these questions. Having said that, a responsible government is expected to take every citizen of the country in confidence in matters such as national security. One. Number two, this patience and maturity which Mr. Sambit Patra is talking about, it seems to be a newfounded interest or newfounded concept to the Bharatiya Janata Party, because till about 8 months back to a year back, the Bharatiya Janata Party, whenever there was a terrorist attack in this country, would ask for immediate results and immediate answers. So Mr. Patra, what you preach should be practiced as well.
Can I answer this?
Number three,
can I answer this?
No, let me complete and then you can give your wisecrack.
Please.
Let me complete. Number three, when there was an attack on the Parliament of India, when the NDA was in power, that time the opposition stood absolutely united with the government, and that's what is expected
from a
responsible opposition. Therefore, Mr. Patra, when you preach the opposition, you should also look into your own and introspect how you have behaved when you are in opposition. You are singing a different language.
Now let me
you
tell
are
you how
doing
we have
everything
in
that you criticized in the past, and that is a fact.
Mr. Narvekar, let me tell you as to how
before you respond to that, Sambit Patra, I want to get a quick view in from Prem Shukla as well. Prem Shukla has been very patiently listening in all this while. Mr. Prem Shukla, do you think it's a justified demand from the opposition that we have a few legitimate questions? I think they should be answered and then we'll be satisfied. Prem Shukla.
No, this is very pathetic to see that a country, failed state like Pakistan, unites on the issue of terrorism. And a successful democracy like India, its political parties are divided on the issue of terrorism. If there is an attack made by the enemy's place, and your NTRO, there is an agency, it gets an information, it passes to Coast Guard, they are taking action, and during the action they even release the press release. If any inquiry is required, that can be inquired within the defense system. Why a party like Congress is already putting a question to the basic operation? Why you are trying to give ammunition in the hand of opposition? Because by doing this, what you are contributing in 26/11, when Digvijay Singh released a book which claimed that there was Hindu fascist killers who killed Hemant Karkare, then Pakistan has gotten a weapon. Every expert from Pakistan quotes it.
First question.
There is no reality in that case, but everyone is quoting it.
Yes, Pakistan and Pakistan's media has latched on to these shreds of doubt that have come up in India. Dr. Ajay Kumar, before we come back to you, Prem Shukla, so do you therefore think that the Congress,
public domain.
do you think the Congress should have questioned this at all, or do you think that they should have been more tactful or should have been a little more, discreet about what they were questioning in this incident? Or do you think this was something which was the no questions asked sort of scenario?
This is very childish from the Congress side, because they are asking to expose the operation method. They want to discuss the preventive measures, preventive intelligence measures, and our security model. If you will discuss it in the public domain, enemy will get the model. Why want to?
Would you at least concede, Ajay Kumar, you were premature. You jumped the gun.
There is defense.
You could have waited, couldn't you?
Parliamentary committee, standing committee. You can discuss there.
So let me. So Padma, the first question is, I think there's so much of misfacts all over the place. When the Ministry of Defense released it, we didn't question it. On the second day also. On the third day, when a national
so what were you questioning first? Padmaja, I think you should play his bite. Padmaja, you should play the bite of Mr. Ajay Kumar. Everywhere he was questioning the government. He was questioning the Coast Guard. He was questioning the NTRO. He was questioning the whole incident. He was calling it a manufactured incident. And today he's saying he was not questioning anything. So what is this discussion all about if you are not questioning anything?
No, but Ajay Kumar, you think 24 hours is enough? You said the first day we did not go against what the Defence Ministry said. You think 24 hours is enough?
Padma, the first question is,
what could have been an anti-terror operation, 24 hours of discretion is enough, you think?
No, the question is, who was leaking? See, General Bakshi's statement is absolutely spot on. Why was there so much leakage
Ask
of
him
the
what was the leak.
input? One sec,
What was leaked? What was leaked? Tell us the sentence that was leaked. What was leaked? The country wants to know, man, what was leaked.
No, one sec.
You are saying since morning leaked. What was leaked?
Can I complete?
What was leaked we want to know.
And I'll give you. I will give you exactly.
No, you are confused. Why should you complete your statements? You do not know what to say.
Keep quiet here, Mr. Sambit Patra.
No, I will not keep quiet. First get clarity and then in a single sentence say what you want.
But Dr. Ajay Kumar, you're questioning the leak of information, but then you're asking for more information. If you're questioning the leak of information in a matter regarding national security, how can you then be actually asking the government to explain and give further information about an intelligence or operation?
So Padmaja, if you tell him to keep quiet for 2 minutes, in the national newspaper today, there is
the nation cannot be quiet, Ajay Kumar. The kind of blasphemous activity that Congress has done towards India, the nation has kept quiet enough. We are not going to keep quiet anymore.
Okay, Sambit Patra, you asked a question. Let Ajay Kumar explain exactly what leak it is that they thought it was essential to question at that very time. Sambit, give him a minute. Yes, Dr. Ajay Kumar, what exactly was the leak which you thought prompted you at that very moment to raise questions about the government's intent?
First question is, Padma, it's very interesting. The government has only made one statement. There is a lot of information saying it was a boat which there was somebody from Thailand. In the major newspaper today, there was a speaker from Thailand, there was a connection from there. All this has come in the public domain. This is nothing from the government. What we were concerned is such an important national security issue. Why is there so much of leakage? Then the Bharatiya Janata Party goes and makes a statement.
What is leakage, Baba? What is leakage?
Never said it.
You want information on one hand, on the other hand you want no leakage. But tell me what is the leakage that is creating such amount of problem in you?
If it's a probable terrorist attack, there is
because that is the nature of an intelligence operation. General G.D. Bakshi, my simple question to you is, here you have some purported leaks. On the other hand, you have the statement of the Defence Ministry. You have statements coming from the Coast Guard. Do you think as a standard operating procedure, the political parties involved, all of them, should ignore the leaks, just keep quiet, wait for further information from the government, because then it's only going to get uglier and more information which shouldn't be out in the public domain is ultimately going to get out?
Why is the party giving a statement? Why is the Bharatiya Janata Party? Why is not the government giving a statement?
May I once again kindly...
So why were you asking clarification from the government? Why were you not asking clarification from the Bharatiya Janata Party? You never questioned the Bharatiya Janata Party. You were questioning the government all the while. First get clarity in your mind and then talk.
So why are you speaking?
No, but then why can't you ignore the leaks? If you're saying it's a leak, it shouldn't be out in the public domain. Why, instead of adding fuel to that fire, Ajay Kumar, can you not just ignore the leaks and wait for the government to do its job and then come out with the facts as they are?
You know what has leaked?
Let some other view also be aired. Excuse me.
Yes, General Bakshi.
Excuse me. What I am trying to state here is, there is the morale of the security agencies involved. In any country, the Coast Guard would have gotten a huge pat. The nation would have praised the Coast Guard's efficiency for being able to preempt such an operation. Today, the Coast Guard has to be defending itself as if they were trying to stage an encounter to gain some medals or something. It is very demoralizing when you express this level of, retail disbelief in what your government agencies do.
And are you going to live with that responsibility, Dr. Ajay Kumar? Are you going to live with that guilt that for every future operation, now our intelligence agencies are going to have to constantly look over their shoulder and wonder whether what they do is going to have a political ramification?
No, the question is the government, we were supporting the Coast Guard. We never made a statement. When so much in the public domain is
you said it was a manufactured incident. You were supporting the Coast Guard by calling it a manufactured incident.
Dr. Ajay Kumar. Dr. Ajay Kumar, you're missing the point entirely. What Padmaja is asking you is very simple. You choose to believe what you call a leak rather than what the government is saying about an issue of national security. Why would you choose to believe what you yourself are calling a leak? Do you, in your mind, is that more valid?
No, we just ask you, look, there's so much of information in the public space, there's so much of reports coming, why doesn't the government clarify? Is that wrong? Because
it's a secret operation.
There is so much
can't you wait?
Innuendo.
My God, what is Mr. Ajay Kumar wanting? You are saying that you have no problem with the government. Now you are saying that the government should clarify. Or your main enemy is the government, or your main enemy is Bharatiya Janata Party. Decide, Ajay Kumar. Decide first. After feeding all the fodder to Pakistan, here is Ajay Kumar all confused.
Against the security forces.
Mr. Sambit Patra, the guy who's confused is you and your half-truths. I am saying we don't question the
No. The nation is watching you, Mr. Ajay Kumar. You have exposed yourself. Congress has exposed itself through Mr. Ajay Kumar.
No, but here we're not even talking politics. We're not even talking politics, Dr. Ajay Kumar. What General Bakshi is saying that you, in fact, through your questioning and imputing of motives, have ended up demoralizing all of the agencies involved in India's internal security.
We are not. We support the Coast Guard wholeheartedly. We congratulate them. What happened?
So how do you support it? By calling it a concocted incident, by calling it a manufactured event, you are supporting the Coast Guard. Is this the way you support the Coast Guard?
General G.D. Bakshi,
your statement
isn't Dr. Ajay Kumar completely contradicting himself?
Incident created.
General G.D. Bakshi, when the Congress questions the version of the event that has been put out to the public and then turns around and say we compliment the Coast Guard, aren't they essentially contradicting themselves?
First question, Padmaja, is if you can give me a two. First of all,
the 10 attackers who came to Mumbai on 26/11 were all wearing Mauli, the sacred thread. It is only that, the sacrifice of Omle, who gave his life, but he caught hold of that Ajmal Amir Kasam. Otherwise, it would have been by disinformation, labeled a so-called act of Hindu terror. We would have had no locus standi to ask Pakistan to take action against the perpetrators. For God's sake, you cannot give credence to such motivated disinformation.
Very true.
If you give credence to disinformation, you are undermining the credibility of your own nation state.
The question,
and you are an entity.
We supported the Coast Guard. We were saying that there is a tremendous amount of leakage.
How you supported the Coast Guard? How did, in what words did you support the Coast Guard? Did you say we lost the Coast Guard? Did you say we pat the back of Coast Guard? You said it was an incident created by the Coast Guard. This is the way you are supporting the Coast Guard.
No, first
No,
question
I am
is
reading your
first of all,
statement,
Samit
Mr.
Patra,
Ajay
first of
Kumar.
all,
At the
who
end
are
of
you
the
to
debate, I
label
can
as a-
say you are the
So,
one who
no,
needs to learn English.
and you take
At the end of the debate, I can say Mr. Ajay
First
Kumar
of all,
should
in
go
the
back to
public
school,
domain,
should learn English and come.
I think you should go back. You should go back to
You are
Pakistan.
confused.
You
You don't know whom you are questioning today.
No, but you know, the
You are
bigger
not
issue over
questioning
here is, and
God.
Rahul
You are
Narvekar,
not
I want to
questioning
get
the
you in also
government.
at
Then
this
who are you
point.
questioning?
Is it just a sad reality now that we have to live with that nothing is out of bounds, nothing is above board when it comes to politicking? If you want to attack the Narendra Modi government, you don't care what the collateral damage is, even if it is the morale of the security forces, the intelligence agencies. As long as you score a point against the government, it's all fair.
We are not scoring a point. Padmaja, first of all, why is there so much of leakage in the public space?
You have made a self-goal.
If it's a leakage, ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Ajay Kumar, if it's a leakage, ignore it. What stops you from ignoring it?
All right, let's get Rahul Narvekar on that, because Rahul Narvekar, exactly, you know, the point is the current environment so terrifying that even when it comes to national security, political parties are going to continue their bickering. They're going to continue trying to score brownie points against each other. Rahul Narvekar, you know, simple point. In matters like this, you said that, okay, they are open to questions and opposition can question, but don't you think in matters like this, everyone should stand together?
No, the question is the national security is such a...
Please allow others to participate, Dr. Ajay Kumar. Yes, Rahul Narvekar.
Why was there so much of leakage? Why?
Oh, forget the leakage. The whole point is you should have ignored the leakage and taken the government's word for it.
No, one sec. Padmaja, first question, get the facts and the chronology correct.
Now.
Well, first of all, let me get the facts correct.
Oxygen was going to
give
the
me a minute.
leakage to Pakistan.
I'll put the facts.
What leakage? I don't understand.
What was in...
Yes, Rahul.
All newspapers say somebody...
Yes, Rahul. Ajay Kumar, you'll please allow Rahul Narvekar to make his point. Please. Yes, Rahul Narvekar.
Well, first and foremost, I think when you have a debate on sensitive issues like national security, the least all the panelists can do is have some decorum on the show, so that the viewers can consider this aspect very seriously, because we are putting forward the views of each of our political parties, and I think that is very important for the viewers. So let's have some kind of decorum. Now let me get back to the question that you put to me. Definitely there has to be a political consensus insofar as national security is concerned. No party, no individual, no leader has the right to politicize an issue concerning national security. But that does not only apply when the Bharatiya Janata Party is in government. That also applies when the Bharatiya Janata Party is in opposition. And this is something which Mr. Sambit Patra should drive home. Okay. And number two, insofar as such incidents are concerned, yes, there is a level of secrecy that needs to be maintained in national interest. But when we talk about secrecy, it is also important to win the confidence of the citizens of this country, and therefore, to that extent, I think it is the responsibility of the government to answer legitimate questions.
Okay, Sambit Patra, respond.
Across to the government, expecting them to get to the bottom of an issue. I don't.
But at least at a time of the government's choosing, at a time when the government and the defense ministry thinks fit, wouldn't you agree to that, Rahul Narvekar?
I have already told you, issues like these cannot be resolved or gone to the bottom of within 1 or 2 days. This needs time. But government can
absolutely.
Exactly.
They need
quick rebuttal from
say that because you
quick response to that from Sambit Patra and then Dr. Ajay Kumar.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think
exactly, Shamit. You know that the question that's coming through for you is essentially that just because the opposition has raised some questions, do you automatically label them agents of Pakistan? You keep asking the opposition to be mature. Is that mature?
No. I told you right from the very beginning, and today when we did the presser also, in the presser we said that. We said that they have the right to question, but you tell me, ask each panelist who are present over here, the esteemed panelist, is this the way of asking question in a public domain and saying and casting aspersions on the functioning of Indian intelligence, on the Indian government, on the Indian Coast Guard? Is this the way of asking questions? That was not asking question. That was casting aspersions. If you had some doubt, if you wanted to know some facts, then there were other routes. You could have easily visited the defense minister. The defense minister would have more than welcomed you, would have shared all the detailed information that he had, that needed to be shared with you. more than welcome. But you did not do that. You chose to politicize this issue just as you had done previously. And let me tell you one thing. As far as Mr. Rahul's question of how we were behaving in opposition, let me remind you one thing, Rahul. That
no, Rahul Narvekar does not agree with your point of view. Rahul Narvekar,
the prestigious newspaper, the same author had questioned the beheading of the 2 Jawans. He had said that it was the mistake of the Jawans. They had gone to the Pakistani territory. But did we?
No, we're not going to discuss the journalist or the publication in question. We're not going to do that. No, let's not make it about any one person. Rahul Narvekar.
By Indian Army, we said that Indian Army is right.
Stop scoring self-goals. Mr. Sambit Patra.
Who is scoring self-goals? Ajay Kumar has already scored self-goals. Umpteen number of self-goals since morning. Go and stand near the check post and see how many goals have been scored.
Stop scoring self-goals.
As the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, you probably haven't studied the conduct of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the previous years. Tell me one incident when there was a terrorist
I don't have to study. We are the nationalist party. We are the one who have been standing by the cause of nation.
Rahul Narvekar, during 26/11, didn't the BJP support the Congress government at that time, Rahul Narvekar?
How many times have you done that? Mr. Sambit Patra, it is easy to preach. But
you should revisit your behavior during Kargil war. Every evening when our soldiers were dying, Congress was conducting press conferences and questioning the government during the Kargil war. Did we not stand by the Congress government whenever
No, wait, before, just a second, Ajay Kumar, because Rahul Narvekar made a point and questioned the BJP about its past conduct. Rahul Narvekar, if you can still hear me, won't you admit that during 26/11 attacks, if there was one thing that stood out, it was that the entire political fraternity was united, including the BJP, which was the principal opposition party. Won't you give them that? And now when you have a similar issue where a possible 26/11 style attack has been averted, the least we can expect is that the Congress would stand behind the government for the time being and say, listen, we'll ask our questions later. Yes, even the BJP asked questions later about 26/11. But for now, we're with you.
Okay, now, so, Padma, can I Sambit, just give me a couple of minutes.
Won't you and Mr. Sambit Patra also concede to the fact that when the parliament attack happened, the entire nation, including all the parties in opposition, stood with the government in that point of time?
Absolutely.
Well, exactly, and that's how it should be, isn't it?
Why doesn't the Congress stand with the government in this case?
Rahul Narvekar,
Why doesn't the Congress stand with the government in this case?
In matters like this, everyone should rise above their political differences.
First question is...
Major General Bakshi, Dr. Ajay Kumar keeps talking about the fact that, we're not questioning the government and we are just raising particular questions because of this leakage. Now, do you think that whatever problem that the Congress seems to have with the government's version of this event, what is the basis of their argument? Is their argument just the leakage? Is that enough reason for them to be questioning an operation of this nature? Because the only thing Dr. Ajay Kumar seems to keep going back to is this leakage.
No, first question, I'm not going to leakage. They were too responsible. No, Padma, they were too responsible.
Example of of political parties trying to score brownie points on an issue of national security. Look at the dissonance that we are seeing. Look at the dissonance that you are displaying to the foreign countries. The fact of the matter is that this month you are vulnerable to an attack. Instead of strengthening the hands of your agencies to counter such an attack, when President Obama is here, I can assure you that Pakistan's ISI will try and stage an incident. The pattern is that every time an American president has visited Indian soil, there has been a major terrorist attack or an attempt to stage an attack. We should close ranks, that's it. This is no way to
That's it, exactly. That's the bottom line.
To present such a picture of disharmony, I think it is incumbent to have a non-partisan attitude. For God's sake, show that. The whole nation is looking at you.
Mr. Prem Shukla said it best, I think, through the show when he said that a country like Pakistan unites in the name of terror, and we seem to be falling apart with our political differences when situations like this arise. I'm afraid, gentlemen, we are completely out of time on this debate, but thank you all so much for joining us this evening.